Well, hey there, beautiful friend. Welcome back to another episode of The Whole Voice. I'm Allie Tyler, and this show is designed to bring a little more consciousness, courage, and creativity into your everyday life so that you can express your whole voice. Today, we are diving into one of my absolute favorite topics, the ego. Okay, I know you're probably going to roll your eyes. Maybe you're going to cock your head to the side like, egotistical, huh? Well, let me just tell you real quick. The moment that you become aware of your own ego, aka aware of your own thoughts, it is the moment that is going to change your life. Oh my goodness, it is so groundbreaking as a human. And it's really one of those things that maybe we hear about, but it's kind of confusing, a little convoluted, a little ambiguous, like ego, I don't know. Let me break it down for you, because there is a true difference between your ego versus your soul. Now, the ego is defined as the part of your identity that you define as self. In other words, it is your own perception of self, and it's your own perception of your own life. It's comprised of your thoughts and your beliefs and your experiences and your labels. And let me tell you, no one is exempt from this, okay? You have an ego, I have an ego, Jesus Christ had an ego, Buddha had an ego, all spiritual enlightened beings have an ego. It's just part of human nature. From the moment that we were born, we have been processing and programming our experiences and creating thoughts and beliefs. In fact, you can think about this as thoughts being repeated thoughts that turn into dominant thoughts that turn into our beliefs. It's totally natural. This is how we live. It's how we experience life. But something that we can always remember is that our beliefs, everything that we programmed in our own mind, everything that we processed, is changeable. It's malleable. Why? Because all it is a dominant thought. So here's how our ego shows up in our everyday life. The ego loves to label things as either good or bad, including things like the weather, which is kind of crazy because it's something we can't control. It judges its reality. It judges other people. It is reactionary rather than responsive, kind of like that person who's just waiting for the thing that you have to say to finish so that they can jump in and say that thing that makes them feel more superior and liked and thought of in a certain way. And that's the other thing. The ego hates feeling inferior, but it loves feeling like the victim. Interesting. It also really likes looking superior and awesome in front of other people, but it really does not like feeling unsafe or uncomfortable. And truly, the ego distinguishes itself as the other, as something different or better than everyone or even just someone else. Your soul, on the other hand, or your spirit, your light, your truth, essence, God, whatever it is that you want to call it, you know that you're connected to your soul because it's in the things that you enjoy. It's those feelings and those experiences where your heart is just wide open and you feel so grateful. It's those moments where you're watching children play, or you're being in nature, or you're connecting with your friends and your family. Your soul also really enjoys growth, so it totally thrives in discomfort. And it doesn't label things as either good or bad because it accepts everything as it is. Your soul is joy, it is play, and it is recognizing that being alive right here, right now, is the most beautiful and sacred gift, because to be alive is to feel alive. In essence, you will know that it is your ego running the show versus your soul running the show, because your ego feels like low vibrational energy, anger, depression, frustration, irritation, or even just blah, just brain fog blah, versus your soul is high vibrational energy. It's joy, it's play, it's bliss, it's appreciation, it's love, right? So just always come back to your feelings. That's why understanding and recognizing your feelings is so important, because your feelings are a compass and they will tell you if you are being dictated by your ego or by your soul. Now here's the biggest takeaway, so listen real carefully because I know this stuff can sound really esoteric. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts happen to you. And when you can actually start witnessing this in yourself, you can start noticing your own thoughts rather than attaching to them, you will become free. You will become free from the voice, aka your ego, inside of your own head. And here's the best part. You don't need to transcend your ego. You're not trying to get rid of it. That's not the point at all. In fact, if you try to do that, you're going to fail because it's not possible. Every human has those thoughts. Every human has those programmed beliefs that make up our ego. The only responsibility that you have is to simply become aware of your own thoughts, aware of your own ego, aware of the emotions that you have. It's almost like being a witness of your own brain. So rather than thinking thought, and thinking that that is just who you are, you can actually stop and see your thoughts. You can hear your thoughts. You can actually become aware of them, and you can literally say to yourself, isn't that an interesting thought? So let's break this down into a practical exercise that you can do at any point, any day, for the rest of your life. Truly, it is so groundbreaking. Are you ready for it? You're simply going to say to yourself, I notice, and then fill in the blank. So let's say you're brushing your teeth, and you think to yourself, I notice that I'm brushing my teeth. I notice that the toothpaste tastes minty. I notice that I need to brush more on the right side. I notice that my hand is moving really fast and I kind of feel a little anxious, right? Or maybe you're driving your car and you say, I notice the signs on the freeway. I notice that the air feels hot. I notice that the air conditioning in here feels nice and cold. Whatever it is. If you're feeling crappy, I notice that I'm feeling crappy. I notice that I keep repeating the same thoughts that are making me feel crappy. It is so groundbreaking. It is so groundbreaking because what this does is it helps you get out of your own head, out of your own kind of weird dramatic world that you've sort of created or your ego sort of created. And now you can detach from it. Now you can see it for what it is. And this is the essence of self-awareness. Another thing to notice are your ego's triggers. Anything that sets you off and doesn't make you feel good anymore. So maybe there's certain conversations with people, being called out, being rejected, blame, resentment. All of these things are things that have been stored inside of us, again, based off of our experiences and our perceptions of life, that have turned into repeated thoughts that our ego loves to bring about so that it can feel superior again. That is truly its biggest motive. It doesn't like feeling unsafe, it just wants to feel superior. So today, after you've listened or watched this episode, I really want you to practice this exercise of I notice. Do it as much as possible. Do it for anything and everything, every situation that you can remember to do this exercise. Because again, when you can start separating and detaching from the thoughts and perceptions in our head, you can start embodying your soul. And remember, everything comes back to how you're feeling. If you're feeling good vibrational energy, you're feeling good, you're in alignment with your soul. If you're not feeling so good, you're feeling those low vibes, you're in alignment with your ego. And it's okay. It's okay to feel bad. I mean, we're human. I feel bad, you feel bad. It's not the point to avoid feeling bad. We want to feel our feelings because our feelings are indicators. The difference is that we don't allow those feelings to totally take over our body and our life because we are aware of them. And awareness and ego cannot coexist. And as spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle says, the moment you become aware of your ego, it is strictly speaking no longer the ego, but an old conditioned mind pattern. Ego implies unawareness. So the power doesn't lie within your mind, my friend. The power lies in your awareness of your mind. I hope that this episode was helpful for you, that you're able to start detecting the ego within yourself. Again, no judgment. We're not going for judgment, only awareness. Let me know how this I notice exercise goes. What do you notice about your thoughts, or maybe your beliefs, or your experiences, or any labels that you have had? It is so groundbreaking when you start noticing the things and becoming so much more aware of your own thoughts rather than attaching to them and letting them control your life. As always, be sure to like and share and subscribe. And if anybody you know would resonate with this episode, it is always so helpful to share the love. And you can always come and find me over at The Whole Voice. I love connecting with you personally. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next episode.